guys. I'm going to do this video a little bit different than I've done in the past, but if it sticks or whatever. In this video, what we're going to discuss is the future of cryptocurrency, my thoughts on it. I'm still bullish as ever on the cryptocurrency space. I still believe it's one of the best places to put your money as an investment, whether it crashes for the next 2 years. I don't care. From my understanding of the technology, it still has a future. I'm still very bullish on it. And I believe in the space, and I believe there's a lot of opportunities still here today. The things I'm going to talk about are my thoughts on where things are going to go next, and this is just based on my research. And it is lightning outside, so if you hear that, just that's what that sound is: lightning, rain, whatever. But I'm going to dive right into the video. So right now, as many of you know, I've been talking about artificial intelligence. It's not like a concept that is hidden anymore. Everybody knows about AI. In the Gartner hype cycle, if you know what that is, that's the way technology cycles go. We're kind of in the trough of disillusionment a little bit, but the AI revolution marches on, and I believe the half-life or the cycle time for AI is going to be relatively short. I believe that the intervals between progress is going to, get it shorter and shorter. It's because it's a self-feedback loop on how AI feeds in the future of technology. But what we have now is the next trends that are happening. And one of the papers that were released recently by OpenAI discussed, the path to superintelligence. And what I want to go over is this one, which is AI agents. Where we are right now is the LLMs, which is the generative models. Where we're going to be by the end of the year with AI models is reasonability. And where we're going, the one I'm talking about in this video, and this is going to have the implications for blockchain, is AI agents. So how is this going to affect? Well, let me just discuss what those things are. So LLMs, generative, they just generate the next piece of information based on probabilities. It's kind of what the brain does to human beings when we communicate. The next one, reasonability. That means it's going to think in 3D terms. It's going to think spatially. The AI is going to start understanding the world in 3 dimensions. And then the one that we're talking about in this video that I'm going to dive into is AI agents, and that is AI that has the reasonability, the ability to reason, but it exists. It's like human beings in a digital space. That's the way you can kind of think of them. They take actions. They do actions in in computers. And so you can go up to your computer, you're gonna have a conversation with it. That's gonna be the new user interface, is just talking directly to your computer. It's not gonna be like the ones that we've grown up with so far, like the Siris and the Alexas or whatever. It's not gonna be dumb. It's actually gonna get language pretty well. So that's where we're going. And what you're going to do is you're going to talk to your device. You're going to say, I want to book a trip wherever, and it'll just take care of it seamlessly and give you the cost, and it'll take care of the whole trip for you, and it'll be relatively smooth. That might sound extreme, but that's where we're going. So the way you know blockchain now is we have these blocks, and this is an expensive ledger, right? And the blockchain basically adds all the transactions, and what the objective of a blockchain is to do is to sell this ledger space, to capture market in a way that it's selling its block space. Ethereum has a very expensive block space, and that's why the fees got so high on that network. And what it is it's just so much activity and so much valuables that exist on that ledger. And that's basically what a ledger, these expensive ledgers do, is they manage valuable things. Valuable things that happen in the computer environment. That's the simplest way to put it. And so right now, the way these blockchains work is they have these nodes. And these nodes reach consensus on the blockchain. And they put up something valuable to run one of these nodes. For a proof of work, it's hardware. It's a lot of expensive computers. For proof of stake, it is Ethereum. So like using the Ethereum example, it's like the native token of that chain. You put it at risk. And what happens is if one of those node operators is mathematically misbehaving. It's a bunch of math or different rules or incentive games that are used to ensure that truthfulness persists on the blockchain, and on this blockchain, that truthfulness, that the system behaves as expected and behaves honestly and behaves in a good framework for business to take place. That's this. So if you're talking to your buddy at the bar or whatever, and if you end up talking about blockchain, and you should if you care about finance, if you care about the future of finance, if you care about the future of wealth building, all blockchain really is business software. That's all you got to say. You don't have to go beyond that. Like the future of business will be on the blockchain. And that's because this is just business software. There's a lot of people that still say, oh, what's the reason for blockchain? You don't have to put a blockchain on that. That's nonsense. Blockchain is business. If you're going to do a business, if you're going to have valuable transactions, it's going to be on the blockchain. And the blockchain is going to eat the entire economy. And that's my personal opinion. I could be wrong. That is my perspective. Now, how do AI agents, like that's what I was talking about in the beginning of the video, how is that going to affect these things? Well, right now, these node operators, they put computer systems in place that run the blockchain. These are computers that have RAM, memory, and processing. And so these computers, not only do they have a stake at risk, but they also are the essence of the computer. Like these ledgers, these ledgers can also be thought of as a computer, as a distributed computer. It's a slow computer, but it's a computer that handles valuables, so it has to be more slow. But they get faster and faster, so on as an example. And they're getting faster and faster. So that's what is going on with these blockchains. They're getting faster and faster, and we're getting that's not going to be an issue. And like we're already seeing all these solutions that make them super fast. But anyways, human beings operate these nodes. Human beings are what are operating these nodes right here. And what is going to happen, I hope you're starting to think to yourself, is that AI is going to run these nodes. Now, that is something you should think about. That is something that you should think about in the future of blockchain. Now, I have experience in this space. I've been, in the crypto space for a long time, and I've learned a lot of lessons. What I think this means is that your lessons that you've learned, what I think this means is that the lessons we've learned in the past are not going to be relevant in the future. I've learned that the network effect is nearly indefeatable. But now, the reason that is, let me go back to this one. The reason why I think that is because anytime you're using one of these systems, you have like Ethereum right here, you have all this volume, and you have these other little blockchains, right? Little tiny blockchains. In terms of market cap, in terms of volume, in terms of block space value. And I have like Ethereum, and you have Solana as the majority. And you have these little ones, these other little ones competing for space. The reason these guys exist like this is because human beings kind of flock to this network effect, this Metcalfe's law effect, ends up working to where if you're in one ecosystem, you're going to find more and more services that are available to you that are in that system, the more people that are in that system. So it's like a feedback loop. But with AI is going to, I think what's going to happen is AI is going to use these other systems more easily. They're going to use cheaper block space, so to speak. So I think that the value will escape the network effect. I think when the AI agents come around, this is a big when and this is a big if. These are my hypotheses. I could be crazy here, but what I'm hypothesizing will happen is these AI agents are going to start running these blockchains, and you might even have blockchains special built to not be run by people, but they will still be distributed. So what will happen is I wish I kind of didn't erase it. You have this blockchain, right? The blockchain. Blocks, and you have these node operators, but these will be AI. These will be AI, not humans. So someone could actually distribute that into the wild, and you can know that it'll persist, kind of like that virus that ran around the internet and eventually found Iranian nuclear facilities. If you guys know what I'm talking about, there was something that sat dormant in computers. Well, this could be the same case. You could release a blockchain. I mean, the implications of blockchain are crazy. The implications are crazy here when you start thinking about AI agents taking over the web. And the implications are massive towards all of our society. But they're also massive towards how blockchains are run. And they're also implicative of how the network effect might not be the case anymore, because these AI agents might look to utilize the lesser used blockchains. So those are some hypotheses I want to put out there for you to think about, for you to digest. The timeline that we're expecting these things, according to Eric Schmidt and according to all these different, the distribution curve of professionals, the timeline that we're looking at this happening is by the end of a 3-year window, within a 5-year window. And that's typically the timeline I think about. So it is coming within the timeline of reasonability, the timeline to think about regarding your investments. I personally believe there is a possibility that the network effect will not matter as much as it has in the past. Like, the thing that we all know and have learned to believe is true is the Pareto principle, where you have 80% of the network effect is captured by a few players. Well, in a world with AI, they're not inconvenienced by learning new systems. They will spend calculated amount of time. These AI agents will spend calculated amounts of time to reach the optimal usage of blockchain space. And they will be running these networks, but they'll also be utilizing these networks. The AI will be building the services that utilize blockchain, and they're going to be using in the background the various. They're going to cut and compose the different parts of those applications to run with the specialized blockchains for the specific parts of their applications. To summarize what I'm saying about all this stuff is basically people are going to hand off a lot of the capabilities to AI, and that means the space is going to change a lot. And so you're going to need someone who is thinking about these things, who's doing the research. That's what we do at Intrepid Gains. This is what we do with our research. We invest in a lot of these. This is what we do, the Intrepid community. I have research analysts, and we invest in startups, and we look deep into studying this. You're going to need someone on your side that's studying this stuff, and it's going to get wild. It's going to be hard to stay up with, and that's the future that we're running into. So I want you guys to comment below. What are your thoughts? Do you think that I'm right? Do you think that there's implications here for AI agents to change the blockchain space? I think the implications go way beyond the blockchain space. I think that the implications for AI agents go way beyond blockchain. They go into the effects of every facet of our lives. The robots are coming. They're essentially like, even with the analytics with the full self-driving, they've gone from 150 miles. This is recent. The most recent data shows that we've gone from 150 miles without interference of the driver to about 600. I think that was the number, but it was a huge jump in version 12.5. So we're about to see them take over the vehicles. And also, if you see the Jensen Huang up on the stage, CEO of NVIDIA, or Huang, Jensen Huang, he shows these robots, and he puts them up on the stage. So we have robotics coming, we have self-driving coming, but the implications don't just touch robotics, don't just touch software. They're going to touch the blockchain and the way blockchain is adapted into society, and they're going to affect your investments. And I think that having a conservative portfolio is going to be very difficult. I think having a protectionist portfolio is going to be very difficult. You have to be calculated, and you have to be aware that the greatest thing coming is change. Lots and lots of change. All right, guys, I'll talk to you soon.